Cannot confirm, we can't stress that enough, that these are unconfirmed reports that come from these protesters. That's what they're alleging. This comes after a day where there was information spreading on social media. Again, we can't confirm the information, but right now they are here protesting here outside of the Phi Psi fraternity. This is right next to the Life Sciences building here on campus. The fraternity is right to my right. Right across from here is the main family walk on campus, a very recognizable place. We're going to let you listen in as this protest takes place.
IMC is the problem. We need to protect our women. Survivors deserve better. They deserve so much better. Women deserve better. You guys should be disgusted! Be ashamed!
Fuck you!
If you give a fuck about women, you'll kick him out! Your silence is so loud! Kick him out! 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 Show yourself!
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! You know that. Fuck you! 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 Fuck you!
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jack. That's a good one. Fucking loser.
Hey!
Can we get a different angle? Different angle?
Hey! Ho ho! Patriarchy has got to go! Ho ho! Patriarchy has got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Patriarchy has got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Patriarchy has got to go!
You're streaming.
No, I'm getting people.
We are a part of the moment if they're recording.
Jack bags, pack your bags! 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 Pack your bags!
Saturday 9:30, right?
I know you're fucking wanting some more! Get it out! You need fucking masculinity! And for what? This is straight! This is straight! This is organizing! This is real hurt! And you don't fucking care because you don't fucking have to! Well, now you fucking do! I'm not getting kicked off campus! Fuck you!
Yeah, the idea that they don't.
You guys all gotta say hi. Oh my god.
Yeah, the email us with robbery and stuff.
Let's go. Alright. Let's fucking go. Alright. Alright, we are switching gears to Chilekasi.
Yeah.
Let's go to Photogs.
Go to everyone.
Shit about it. You guys want to come with us? No? Yeah, come with us. Guys, we're gonna go over this way. Let's go!
So right now what's happening is that most of the protesters are remaining here in front of the house that's here. Some are going to another fraternity here on campus, and I apologize if you can't hear me over the sound of the protesters. It has been growing in the time that we've been here. Again, they're here to protest this fraternity Pi Psi and other fraternities here on campus. They say that there is a culture of rape here on campus, and that there was someone living in this house specifically that allegedly raped someone. We'll let you listen in again. Again, we cannot confirm that.
We're going to show our presence at every Greek house. We will be heard everywhere on this campus. And Lambda. Throw more ones. Probably all of them. You know what? Fuck it.
Let's go!
So right now the protesters are heading to Theta Chi. This is another fraternity here on campus. We're going to follow them in just a moment. We're going to be following the protesters in just a moment. So we're walking right now with the protesters from Psi U. They're heading to Theta Chi. If you couldn't hear what they were saying before, the plan is that there is to go to a number of fraternities here on campus. The fraternities here on Syracuse University's campus ring campus, so they are very nearby. Protesters right now crossing the street, blocking traffic on Comstock.
Hey, it's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. Oh, I smell eggs. What is that? What's that? Did they throw rotten eggs over there?
That's Adam Sperling, the equipment at Psi U. Adam Sperling is with it now, but we need people with us. This is a lot. Okay. Hold this? Okay. So right now is actually... So this is actually just... We're not sure what this car is here for.
Damn, that would have been
We're going to just give you a look right now as we turn to the right of the crowd that is here outside the fraternity. Hundreds of students here right now.
I see you! Yeah, you got it.
Keep moving back, keep moving back. Pro-
2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape.
Is Ricky Sayre once again from Citrus TV News. We are following a group of protesters that are going from fraternity house to fraternity house here on campus, alleging that there is a rape culture here on Syracuse University's campus. They're right now here in front of Lambda Chi Alpha, which is one of the fraternities here on campus, trying to speak directly to people who are living inside of this house. We'll let you listen in again.
Stop defending rape! 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 I see you, bitch! Come out here! We know you! We know who you are! We know what you do!
Stick us with here for a moment as we try to follow who appears to be the organizers of this protest. They've gotten to the end of Frat Row here and they're heading the other direction back north on Comstock. Again, if you are just joining us here on our Citrus TV News live stream, a large group of protesters are here walking along Comstock right now. And again, they are alleging a culture of rape in fraternities here on campus. What stemmed this is some of these protesters being upset over a specific alleged instance of a rape, in the Psi U fraternity. Again, that is something that, or a member of that fraternity raping someone. That's something we cannot confirm at this moment, but that is what the protesters here are claiming. This campus, of course, no stranger to protests here on the Syracuse University campus. It was just before COVID-19 shut down campus that there was a long protest inside of the Krause-Heinz Hall with Not Again SU. They were in there about a month and only left because of COVID-19 shutdown of campus. And of course, the fall before that was the major protest that we saw there inside of the Barnes Center. Protesters marching to the Chancellor's house there. This protest is a little bit different. This is not specifically against the university as protests that we saw in the recent past. This is against Greek life, specifically, fraternities here on the Syracuse University campus. So again, right now we are walking down Comstock Avenue with the protesters. They are heading toward Ernie Davis Hall. We're not exactly sure where they're walking specifically. We are assuming toward Walnut Park, but we're not sure of that. This coming together, not in a big or huge organized fashion. There was a lot of talk on Yik Yak today. A lot of this started as we take a look right now, and you can see just the massive crowd of students, that are here. You're seeing the front and the organizers of the protest right here.
Shame to you, shame to all of them. That is my crown, I swear. I got stuff in there. No, but like I'm being dead. Negative coronavirus.
Protesters trying to cross Comstock right now. Okay, the protesters blocking Comstock right now.
Stop being a pussy! 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 Join us! Support us! Stop being complicit! 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 We didn't forget about you. We're back. Kick him out! Kick him out! Kick
Protesters
him
back
out!
inside of,
Kick
back next to
him out!
Sayu
Kick him out!
Fraternity right
Kick
now,
him out!
chanting "Kick him out."
Kick him out! Kick him out! Sayu! Fuck you! 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 I'm not done with you! I'm not done! Can they? No. We're going through her!
Protesters saying that they're heading toward Bird Library.
So many people.
Yeah, take a look behind us right now at just the massive crowd. Hundreds, I'm not sure if I could say 1,000, but there are a lot of Syracuse University students walking, heading towards the Family Walk to Promenade right now. They're turning a right, touring toward Bird Library, going down the steps.
Stop being complicit! Stop being complicit!
Hold on for us right here as we head down these steps.
Stop being complicit! Stop being complicit! Protect our survivors! Believe 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 survivors!
The familiar "Where is Kent" chant that we saw during the Not Again SU protesters. Ken Siberud, the Chancellor of Syracuse University.
are strong. Hear us chant all night long. We are survivors. We are strong. Hear us chant all night long. We are strong. Hear us chant all night long. We are survivors. We are strong. Hear us chant all night long. We are survivors. We are strong. Hear us chant all night long. Protect our women. 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 Protect our women.
Right now, protesters are walking through Walnut Park, heading toward the fraternities that are nearby this park. If you're just joining us right now in our CitrusTV News live stream, these protesters allege that there is a rape culture at fraternities here on Syracuse University's campus. They've been out here since about 9 p.m., starting at the Phi fraternity. We're here at the Phi Kappa fraternity, where the protesters have gathered. Again, there are hundreds of protesters here.
We see you! We see you! Stand with us! Stop being complicit! 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 We know you! No means no! 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 Listen! Come out here! You don't support your brother! Listen! Stand with us! Nolan Teagan! Puppet! Nolan Teagan! Nolan Teagan! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Nolan Teagan's got to go! Hey, hey! Fuck you, Phi Kappa! Fuck you! Right on! Fuck you, Phi Kappa! 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 We see you in the window! All right, let's get out of there! You're stand there! Watch you to come join! Like, join us! Your brothers are very fast! Join us now! Everybody, we're gonna go to here! You are all complicit! You are all complicit! You are all the perpetrators of rape culture! You are all complicit!
Do we have another card?
Stop being complicit! Stop being complicit! Stop being complicit! Stop being complicit! Stop being complicit!
Something to mention right now is that we do not see DPS officers. In fact, that we see right now event staff, Carrier Dome event staff, which are blocking the streets here in Walnut Park. It's a bit of a departure from what some things that we've seen in the past. Something that I want to mention as we walk along here is that there was a survey that was done not too long ago that looked at sexual assaults here on Syracuse University's campus, and I want to bring you some of that information. The university released a survey, I believe this was in December of last year, and it found that about 19% of students reported being sexually assaulted here at Syracuse University. The same survey found that about 95% of people who were victims of a sexual assault did not file a report. The majority of sexual assaults, 71%, were experienced by first-year undergrads. About half of the assaults took place in on-campus buildings such as dorms. 34% of respondents didn't tell anyone about the assault that survey found, and of those who did tell someone, about 1.4% told Syracuse University's Department of Public Safety. What essentially it found is that sexual assault is not uncommon here at Syracuse University, but very, very few sexual assaults end up actually being reported to authorities. It's rare that we hear of a sexual assault here on campus making it to some type of court. Right now, the protesters are heading to the Deke Fraternity, as right now protesters cross, I believe this is Adams. Yes, this is East Adams Street. Right now they are walking up towards DKE, the fraternity. We apologize for any of the shakiness on our stream right now or poor audio quality. As you can see, we are following along with this protest just as it is taking place. There was a recent protest that was actually here at this fraternity during protests in the summer of 2020. Last Chance for Change protesters were here at this exact spot. It's also worth mentioning that this house sits right next to the Chancellor's residence, which is just next door. There was some talk that protesters wanted to head in that direction. We just went under the archway here at Deke.
Oh, I see one of them.
We see you! We see you! You can't hide, buddy! You can't hide! 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 You can't hide!
What are we doing?
You can't hide! 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 Take down the camera! Stop filming us! Stop filming us! Yes!
Turn that way.
Do you guys have any more questions?
Any questions?
Yeah, but thank you guys for covering this and being an ally.
Thank you.
Amazing. I'm gonna continue protesting.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Hey, they're going right here. Hey, watch this car. Watch this car. Don't get run over. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We can see someone who is living inside of the fraternity that is actually looking back toward the protesters.
Get the fuck out! Get the
We again want to provide context for what's happening right now. A group of Syracuse University students have come here to the Deke Fraternity, D-K-E fraternity. It's known as a castle here on Syracuse University campus. They're here to say that there is a rape culture that is present in fraternities here on Syracuse University's campus. This protest here coming after there were allegations that there was a rape in the Psi U fraternity. Again, that was something that we cannot confirm. We're looking right now to see if anyone is looking out here. Okay.
You are irresponsible.
Protesters right now are heading back towards East Adams. They're leaving Deke. Obviously, everyone here incredibly frustrated. We were speaking with some of the students who appear to have organized this, and it really, for them, kind of felt like a build-up. They feel like that they've spoken with so many of their friends who have been victims of rape in the past few weeks here on campus. They're frustrated, they want it to stop, and they are calling out the fraternities that they believe are in part responsible for what's happening.
Are you going to hold people accountable? It's fucking disgusting. Stand up against rape.
I feel like sending a message in our chat. But I sent my
That's a you thing.
Want to get a shot of it?
Like, you live in
especially because
Okay, let's go.
where's the camera?
So protesters right now up here headed to the Chancellor's residence, where we saw was last the site of a protest during the Not Again SU protest here on Syracuse University campus. Large amount of protesters. They left Hendricks and they marched to the Chancellor's residence. And at that point, the Department of Public Safety had blocked the entrance as we tried to get up here, up to Comstock. Excuse me. I'm so out of breath.
Whose house is this? Oh, you have to take me back to the house.
The last time that protesters came to the Chancellor's house, it wasn't actually clear that the Chancellor was there. Again, a new protest spontaneously appeared. We're going to see. It's unclear how close the protesters will be able to make it to the Chancellor's. We apologize for any shaking as we work to get ahead of the protesters here toward closer to the Chancellor's house. Thank you for holding in there with us.
Well, they should, like,
So we're looking here. So interestingly, the driveway to the Chancellor's house is not blocked, as it was in the past for past protests, the protesters here in the entryway here are not going onto the property yet, at least.
Can't protect rape! 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 Can't protect rape!
We are here for you.
You can't stop it!
Someone had a
Silence is violence! 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 Silence is violence!
Kent is protecting the rapists that walk among us on this very campus. He needs to do better for all of us.
We need a leader!
We need a leader.
We need a leader! 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 We need a leader!
You can't silence us, Ken.
You can! 2, 4, 6, 8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape! 2, 4, 6, 8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape! 2, 4, 6, 8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape! 2, 4, 6, 8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape! 2, 4, 6, 8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape! 2, 4, 6, 8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Can't believe survivors! The Frat Brothers are liars! 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 Can't believe survivors! Stand for it! Fuck you, Ken! 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 Fuck you, Ken!
Fuck Title IX. Fuck Title IX. Fuck Title IX.
Fuck Title IX! 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 Stand with women! Stand with us!
Your voice okay, girl?
We are mad.
We're mad!
We're survivors. We're strong.
Tell us again why you're here right now today.
We're strong! Hear us chant all night long!
We're survivors. We're strong. Hear us chant all night long. We're survivors. We're strong. Hear us chant all night long.
Survivors! We're strong!
We are here today to protest all of the implications that have been put in place by the university meant to protect men when they commit violence against women. They are protected even when there is evidence. Women are never believed. Our stories never ever make it to the forefront. My body, my choice. We are here today to protest the IFC, to protest Kent,
and his handling of sexual assault within Greek life on this campus.
What do you specifically want Kent to do differently?
I want Kent to reform the Title IX that he has here at this school. There must be a better implications of what you could protect women based on, or any sexual assault victim. We need a better system in place for us to be protected, for us to be believed, because our stories go unheard. We never get justice, and we are tired of it.
Just about 1.4% of sexual assaults reported actually make it to DPS here on this campus, according to a survey. Why do you think that is DPS where this should be reported to? What has to change on that end? DPS needs to start reporting these crimes to authorities and to the school themselves. They need to all have cases on them. Every single survivor deserves their story to be a case. Everyone deserves for their story to be heard if they want it to be. And that is not happening on this campus. Not only do the ones who report barely get justice, but so many do not report because we know that it won't come to us. The justice won't come to us. What is your message for the members of these fraternities?
The members of these fraternities should know this. They should know that the women on this campus know who they are. We know what they've done. I'm with her! I'm with her!
Alright, let's start the fuck side you chant.
What group are you from?
What's up?
Are you a member as you're a fraternity group or just
I'm just out here. I'm just a kid. Silence. All I gotta say is if she said no, get the fuck out of here. Stop doing that shit.
Silence is violence! Silence is violence! Silence is violence! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! 2-4-6-8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape! 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 2-4-6-8! Stop the violence! Stop the rape!
Anyone like a card with information about resources for survivors on campus?
I would love one.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Time's up.
Stand with us. 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 Let's go down Walnut.
No! Justice! No!
What do we want? What do we want? What do we want it? What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want it? Justice! When do we want it? Now! SU! Time's up! 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 SU! Time's up!
So the protesters heading down Harrison right now, crossing by the former Theta Tau house, which was a protest well before any of these students. There were protests against well before many of these students were here on the Syracuse University campus. But they are heading right now back towards Walnut Park, where there are a number of fraternities here on campus. We can see the first Department of Public Safety vehicle that we have seen in a while. But again, the protesters heading back toward Walnut Park. I'm here with Citrus TV News reporter Teagan Brown with anything she wants to add to what's going on.
Yeah, so I came originally from Z89 radio station over in Watson. I initially heard about the protest on Twitter from radio reports and made my way over here. As soon as I was over here, students immediately were still beginning to cheer in front of the Chancellor's house. We're now moving down next to all of the fraternities, and it's the question that if they're going to stop at any more of them and start to continue chanting, and if any of these fraternity brothers will come out.
And what are about the chants that you've heard? We always, whenever these happen, the chants are always very important. What are some of the chants that you've heard them saying during this?
Obviously, well, right now they're saying 246A, violence, stop the rape. We've seen many signs. I took many videos, and I'm sure many of you saw them on this live stream of stop rape culture and all of these different things that they are trying to emphasize to the university and to these fraternities specifically.
Yeah, right now, just to add, while we're here, you can see just the amount of students. If we pan from the left to the right, you can see just how much space they take up here on Syracuse. Here just off the campus of Syracuse University, passing again by the Chancellor's house, and now walking back toward Deke.
Many of them have been marching together the entire time. Many of them have also been, we've obviously been going down some pretty steep landscaping as we've seen a few people fall. We haven't seen any injuries so far, but we have seen people falling down these hills. We're continuing to move right now, going back towards central campus of the university, and we are going to continue following this story. Thank you to all of the viewers that are still here and continuing to pay attention to this protest. We will keep you updated as we continue moving. Cars are coming next to us on the streets as these protesters are specifically on the sidewalk, continuing through campus.
Yeah, we're also here with Citrus TV news reporter Lindsey Fine. Lindsey, is there anything that you can add from what you've learned?
Yeah, I mean, I think these students are done with what's happening on campus. I think this was kind of the last straw. I know we've heard of, at least our protests were telling us, we've heard of at least 2 other incidences or the alleged incidents of rape here on campus. So I think this third one was the final straw from what I've heard.
And again, we always want to emphasize that these are not things that we can confirm ourselves. It takes a lot to be able to confirm this information. There have been incidents in past years. It often will take until something gets to an actual court, something is filed publicly for us to be able to confirm it. The university does not often release information about this, as we're going to continue on walking here.
I also think this plays into a bigger national picture. We've seen similar events like this happen across America, and so I think the students, again, across America, but also at SU, they're saying that they want to take a stand against what's happening, and I think they're protesting for, again, the country.
This is definitely one of those things that we've seen across the country at multiple colleges. The topic of rape on college campuses comes up frequently. We were mentioning the numbers before of the amount of students here at Syracuse University who responded in a survey saying that they had been the victim of a sexual assault, as we're just trying to monitor what's happening right there.
We're moving back to SIU. That's where we're continuing on to right now. We heard the group in front say that. So we're going to move back to the fraternities at the moment. We're following them up back toward Byrd Library and Central Campus at the moment. We are continuing to hear these chants such as these obscenities with these chants. And we're moving quickly throughout all of the frats and the sororities on University of Walnut. And we're going to continue coming up and following the crowd of all of the students. It has definitely elevated to hundreds and hundreds of students that are moving there already at the end of the street. There are so many of them, and we're going to continue following them throughout this night.
And something to notice as we walk along here is this started as a group of about, I want to say, 40 female students. And at the start, the female students were on one side, the male students were on the other side. They called on the male students to join, and eventually they did. This is not just women here on the Syracuse University campus. who have joined in the protest right now. This is both male and female students which are here today. Again, as we walk through Walnut Park, approaching Adams, some of the protesters are closer to Bird Library.
And it's important to note that these females who did start this protest, as we built up this group of people, they have specifically called, tons of these, male students that are coming forward to join them. They have said, join them, and to join the group. And many of them have, and many of them continue to march down the road back towards CiU.
Yeah, that's right. Right now they're passing the ZBT fraternity. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure if, as of right now, they are an official fraternity on the Syracuse University campus right now, as they have had some issues in recent years. But the protesters have stopped at ZBT as we're going to cross the street right now to closer to where they are right now. Just to confirm, they are not affiliated with the university at the moment. Thank you to Lindsey Fine for that confirmation there. Excuse us. Like many of the fraternities that we passed by, most of the lights are off in this house.
This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
Currently, there are no brothers of the ZBT coming out onto the deck. It's currently just these students outside. This fraternity has been a topic of discussion and debate among this debate.
Yeah, we can also call this fraternity has had some issues in recent years. I think there was an issue where there were early in the pandemic some COVID protocols the university sanctioned for them for. They've had some issues in recent years. So again, as we just take a look right here at the crowd of students who have gathered. There's a sign out there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but just in this short time, a sign's been put together. It says, "Survivors deserve better."
We also have some other signs over here, specifically being caught by CitrusTV's Chilekasi Adele, so you guys will be able to see that. They're saying terms such as "we see you," even though none of these brothers have still come out onto the porch of ZBT.
And that's something that we've seen throughout most of the fraternities, that these protesters have passed by. Only on a few occasions could you actually look into the houses and see people looking back. We haven't seen any direct confrontations between the protesters and any of the members of these fraternities. There are some cars that are trying to come by here right now.
Traffic is currently being blocked by many of these students who are in the street. However, some cars are being able to get by as students are starting to move back into the grassed area across the street from ZBT. We're continuing to move right now, following them. These cars over here are waiting to get across. It's the question of all of these students if they will go over to the grassed area. It seems like they are doing so right now and that we're moving away from ZBT. So we will see where they continue to next.
Hold us. Yeah. They're going to. So it appears that they're going back toward AE Pi right now, which is another fraternity that is not an actual affiliated fraternity of the university at the moment. If you go to the university's page on their the Greek life, one of the Greek life pages, you can see a list of the fraternities which are active and fraternities that are not allowed to be active right now on Syracuse University's campus. We want to remind you, if you're just joining us, that this is a group of students which about at 9 p.m. They gathered and we spoke with them, and they said that this is just all about drawing attention to the fact that there is a rape culture that is present, they say, at fraternities here on Syracuse University's campus.
And we're moving even further down the street, back in the general direction that we were earlier, continuing to these frats. And it seems that we're going straight down. Once again, we're seeing cars trying to make their way down these roads, but the students are moving in the street. Some of them are on the sidewalk, but we're starting to see them spreading throughout.
And it's again worth mentioning, at the moment, DPS is not blocking the streets. We did see before that event staff, Carrier Dome event staff, had been blocking streets. That's something we've seen in recent years at different events where you would typically think that you'd see security, you would think you'd see police. You often now see Dome event staff as we walk over. Be careful here. Hold on with us here.
We're good. All right, we are now seeing students standing on top of the bench in front of AE Pi. All right, let's move over here toward the students. We're gonna make our way.
You can't hide! You can't hide! You can't hide!
They're now starting to yell, "You can't hide" at AE Pi. No lights seem to be on in the building. It doesn't seem as if anybody's home. It's the question of if they have turned off these lights to make it appear so. We're not seeing any bodies move within the windows. All of the students are now standing still. We're seeing one student holding a sign standing on top of the bench. Once again, they're asking students to stand with them as they have throughout their whole moving throughout all of these streets, as they have gained more followers to join this group and to continue marching around campus.
No means no! No means no! No means no! No means
They're echoing a chant that has been echoed throughout the whole end rape culture. No means no. It has been a powerful phrase of the whole movement, and these students are continuing to chant, and they have had multiple chants throughout the night, not just including this one.
When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now you can hear in their voices that they have been cheering for quite a while. This has been going on since about 9 o'clock, so we're about an hour and a half into this protest, and they have moved throughout campus on this journey. We still are here. We're going to move on from AE Pi, going over toward Sayu, where this all began. All right, watch out for this, guys. All right, we're seeing no DPS cars in the area.
No peace! No peace! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! As you protect freedom! As you protect freedom! As you protect freedom! Keep our masks on.
What?
As you protect freedom!
You said?
As you protect freedom! As you protect freedom!
As you protect freedom!
As you protect freedom! What do we want?
Protect freedom!
As you protect freedom! Where is Hunt? Where is Hunt? Where is Hunt?
All right, one of the signs that we're seeing over here is SU protects rapists. It is a double-sided sign. We cannot see the other side at the moment, but the student has been carrying this sign throughout the entire protest and continues to hold it up, standing strongly, holding on to that, and cheering along with whatever chants the group is doing. We're making our way over to two fraternities. If you heard her, we're making our way over to Sayu currently, which is going to be over more on campus. So we're going to follow the group over there.
Yeah, that's where this all started at 9 p.m.
What democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
No justice. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Wait.
There's like all things.
Fuck rape culture.
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 Fuck
get a card.
I have a card.
You have a card?
I literally have a card.
We have a card. Is it clear?
It has like 70 minutes left on it.
Fantastic.
Watch out for side. Stay on the right hand, right hand, right.
So right now we're walking up Waverly Avenue toward Comstock, actually right by our CitrusTV studios. If you're familiar with the area, this is where Ernie Davis, Kimmel Hall, Watson Hall all meet together, as well as the Booth Garage.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Rape culture has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Rape culture has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Rape culture has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Rape culture has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Rape culture has got to go! Rape culture has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Rape culture has got to go! Come outside and protest with us! Come back!
Would any of you care to join us to talk about why you're...
Are you live right now?
Yes, we are.
If you are watching this and are able to come, let's go. You are part of the problem if you're not.
Why do you want people to join you today? What is this all about?
Because it's spreading awareness.
And what are you
And this is ridiculous that the school is not doing anything about it.
What specifically makes you upset about it? Talk
That
about
everything is being covered up and nobody's being held responsible.
when you talk about being covered up. What is it you believe is being covered up?
The rape culture.
How do you believe that manifests out? What stories do you hear? How does this impact you?
I have heard from multiple people that girls have been going to these frats, getting drugged and getting raped. And that is so unacceptable. And nobody's doing anything about it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, can I also get your name by any chance?
Alexa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Something to add here as we walk now along Comstock Avenue, as current President Biden was on Syracuse University's campus all the way back in 2015 when he was vice president to talk about sexual assault on campuses. He had a big speech inside of the Goldstein Auditorium in the Shine Student Center about this topic, where he called for an end to rapes on campus, and he was there to talk about some programs that they have. We keep streaming with the card going.
Matt Holmberg! IFC president!
All right. We're now talking and addressing about the IFC president as we move toward SIU. Again, like Ricky said, back where this all began around 9 o'clock. And it wasn't until about a little bit later until this big group started building up. Nope. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
We don't have to be live. Recording to be live.
Yep.
We're still live.
So we're moving over.
Apologies for the confusion. Nardine, can you run back and get a card? Get a card. We're gonna walk. Hold with us here as we go up this hill.
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
We're once again seeing most of the lights off inside of the fraternity, just like at AE Pi. It seems that on the top floor, some of the lights are on, indicating that some of the brothers could be home. But just like the previous one, they are not listening to the calls and coming outside as these protesters are calling for these people to come outside.
You can't hide! You can't hide! You can't hide! You can't hide! Come on, you can't hide!
People are still coming and joining the crowd as we see more people making their way up toward Phi Psi to join the group.
Max Holmberg! 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 Hold on! Show your fucking face! We can't see you! 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 Fuck Title IX! 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 Fuck IFC! 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 We see you! We can see you! Come on, please! We believe survivors! 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 Come out, rapist pig! Come out, Max Holmberg! We know you're in there! You're the fucking face of IFC! Bring your ass out here! Be accountable! Hold your boys accountable now! 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the hate! 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the hate! 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the hate! 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the hate! 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the hate! 2, 4, 6, 8. No means no! 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 No justice! No peace! 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 What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! Now! What do we want? Justice! Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! No justice! No peace! 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 No justice! No peace!
So right now, the protesters are on the steps of the house. They're on the steps of the house right now, just feet from the door of this fraternity. Behind them, there are hundreds and hundreds of protesters. Hold on.
Show your faces! Go Max! Come on, Max Holmberg! Show your face! We believe survivors! We believe survivors! We believe survivors! We believe survivors!
Teagan grounded. What did you just notice up there?
Yes, so when we originally got here, up top on that top floor, both windows were lit up. The one on the left, the lights have since turned off, but that light on the right still is on, indicating that there are students in the house.
2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape.
It looks as if there's no movement throughout the house. Students are currently standing in front of the door. They're even walking up toward the door, putting their faces towards the window, looking in, but it seems that they see no movement.
Stop the violence, stop the rape. And rape culture, 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 and rape culture.
Still no movement upstairs in the house, where the only source of light seems to be coming from on that window on the right up there. There are lights on downstairs.
Max Holmberg, show your face! Our survivors deserve better! 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 Our survivors deserve justice! Our deserve justice! Justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Fuck Title IX! 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 All right, let's head back to SIU. Fuck SIU! Fuck SIU!
All right, as the students have just said, they are heading to SIU.
Jack, bags, pack your bags!
We're now seeing the students move back toward campus, with SIU just across the road. They will be taking their path over there, again, where this all started, as we've kept saying.
So just to bring you back to what happened earlier, about 9 p.m., students gathered, starting just a few of them outside of SIU. They claim that a student at SIU raped someone. They said, and again, this is all their claim, that the protesters claimed that that student was removed from the fraternity, but not removed from the house. Again, that's something that we cannot confirm or independently, but that is, again, what these protesters are claiming. You can just see just the crowd of people here. This is, again, a large crowd of students. Just looking at the time right now, it is 10:45 p.m., about an hour and 45 minutes after this protest started. As we walk towards, I want to reiterate something that I mentioned earlier in our live stream right here, that there was a survey conducted looking at the issue of sexual assault on Syracuse University's campus. And I want to, again, tell you about the results of that survey. Of those who responded to the survey, 19% said they had been sexually assaulted while at Syracuse University. The same survey found that 95% of people who were victims of a sexual assault did not did not file a report. The majority of sexual assaults, 71%, were experienced by first-year undergrads, and about half of the assaults took place in on-campus buildings, such as dorms. 34.7% of respondents didn't tell anyone about the assault. That survey found of those who did tell someone, just 1.4% told the Department of Public Safety, and of those who told no one, 56.2% said they didn't think it was serious enough to talk about. 63.5% of assaults involved the other person's use of alcohol. The survey found 58% involved one's own use. About 23% of respondents said they had witnessed a situation at SU which they thought could lead to sexual assault. That survey is actually something that you can find on My Slice if you want to get a better look. So right now we're in front of the protesters here next to the Sci-U house. This is where this protest all started about an hour and 45 minutes ago. There's a few hundred protesters here. What they've been saying all along is that there is a culture, they say that there is a rape culture here at fraternities at Syracuse University, and they want it to end. You can listen in right now as they have a series of chants.
All right, as we're on some unstable ground, students are still down on the sidewalk in front of Sci-U. Unlike over there, they have not made their way onto the porch yet or toward the door. They are on the bottom, and once again, another trend that we're seeing, the lights are turned off mostly within Sci-U. I'm seeing a few windows with lights on in them, but other than that, there is no movement in the fraternity. Oh, they're starting to make their way up the stairs as we saw at the last fraternity, and they're making their way toward the door.
So right now the protesters are climbing up the steps much closer to Sci-U than they were before, up on top of the hill here.
No means no. 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 No means no.
only a few students have made their way specifically onto the stairs. The rest of the students seem to be staying on this walkway, sort of leading up to CiU. As we've seen with the previous fraternities, none of these brothers are coming outside, and there is little to no movement in each of these fraternity houses.
Never again! 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 Never again!
Hello? Off of the lawn? Got it. Okay, we're moving down to the sidewalk right now. Guys, we have to move down to the sidewalk. We have to get off the grass.
Go down this way.
Fuck you, Jack! Fuck you, Jack! Fuck you, Jack! Fuck you, Jack! Fuck you, Jack!
Are you part of any fraternity?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm a freshman.
Got it.
Semester freshman. Basically, a lot of people are talking about teaching sons, and I was kind of young age. I watched this video sophomore year. Really simple video, and I tell everyone I meet when they bring up rape culture. Basically, what it is consent is like making a cup of tea in the sense that if I pour the water into the kettle, okay, I then go and boil the water, pour it in a cup, put the tea bag in, get a cup of tea, and I give it to the person. They say, I no longer want tea. Do I then force it down their throat and make them drink the tea? No, obviously not. So I just want to say that this is how I was taught growing up, raising about like consent. I think it's just the easiest way to put it into perspective, so I just want to share my message, and yeah.
And now, when did you come over and join this group throughout campus?
I don't know, after basketball. I had basketball tryouts, I took a shower and then came, so.
All right, have you just joined them at this fraternity, or were you
No,
with them
I was
at
at
previous ones?
frat row. I don't know what time, probably 9:30.
And what have you experienced in this crowd so far?
A lot of chanting and a lot of just going frat to frat. Like, doesn't really matter which frat, but I've just seen frat to frat to frat, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go over there. Let's go over here. We're going to move back over toward the sidewalk, where it seems only a smaller group of students are now standing, as more have made their way up the stairs toward the stairs leading up directly to the fraternity house. And as our previous student who we just spoke with said, these students have been chanting all of these different things throughout the night. We're hitting about 2 hours since this has started, and it started all right here, and it seems it's come full circle right back to CiU. We're currently seeing an ambulance come by. It seems to have nothing to do with the protest currently. Let's move a little bit closer.
Throughout this camera, we have to turn this camera off and turn it back on so we can fix what's happening with it.
Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape.
It sounds like they don't want to get sued.
Stop the violence, stop the rape.
They're saying Jack's a racist.
Stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8, stop the violence, stop the rape.
Yeah, but exactly.
Stop the violence, stop the rape.
Legalese. That's probably legalese, so we don't get in trouble for saying something that might be true.
Stop the violence, stop the rape.
I want it to be known, Jack Bags did not rape the alleged woman, but she was assaulted. And it still matters. It still fucking matters. Absolutely. Because it's all rape culture. It is all the patriarchy. It is all disrespect to women.
The majority of students still are up top, directly next to SIU. We're only seeing small groups standing down here, either on the sidewalk or in front of it, where we are. And once again, as we've seen, many cars are trying to get through. Currently, we have a huge trolley coming through, so let's move out of the way, guys. Looking at the crowd right now, I was just consulting with one of my other members of CitrusTV here. It seems to be that there's about one guy for every 3 girls, because as we said earlier, this did start out as a group of majority females, and we're still seeing that large majority here. Many of them seem to be making their way back down the stairs away from SIU toward the sidewalk. It's just the question of if they are heading somewhere else on campus or if they are heading out. In fact, it seems that all of them are now heading down toward the stairs, but they just seem to be gathering. If we can show them right over here, they just seem to be gathering and not exactly moving in any specific direction. Where are you guys heading next? Are you heading? You're going to DU. Okay, thank you.
Where are we on?
We're going to DU.
Okay.
DU is down there. We're going that way. Guys, let's go that way. We're going to DU. Yep.
So we're now heading to the DU fraternity. Where is Teagan? You know these things better than I do.
We are going to go back down to the majority of the frats. We're going to be heading and taking a right to go toward DU. It's about a 5-minute walk from here. The students told us as they were coming down the stairs, this is where they are heading to next.
Hold fraternities accountable!
Thanks for hanging with us here as we get situated to where we need to be, so we're in a spot that we're comfortable with.
Still no movement in SIU, absolutely none. No lights changed, no movement from the brothers inside.
Yeah.
They were evacuated. There are rumors that they were evacuated.
Let's just walk right here. We'll all walk in over here to the back.
The chants seem to be very strong at the front of this group, because that seems to be where it seems to be about 3 specific girls that have continued these chants throughout the entire walk in campus.
Hey, someone can hold the camera while they do it.
Again, thank you for sticking with us. I'm Teagan Brown with CitrusTV. We have Ricky Sayer here as well, and we have Alex right behind the camera, who is diligently following all of this. Still, one of the biggest things that we've noticed is there has been little to no sign of DPS. I believe we've seen probably about 2 or 3 cars so we're still seeing not as strong. What? Advanced security. All right. Let's grab a student as we're walking. Let's talk to them. Excuse me. Hi. I spoke with you earlier. Hello. Watch out, guys. We're caught. Could I just talk to you for a moment about following this? So obviously you're here with this sign. You're one of, I believe, 2 or 3 people holding a sign continuing throughout this. Have you been here since 9 o'clock at the beginning, and how has it progressed throughout the entire night in this 2-hour span?
Well, more and more people have been gathering. At first it was just a small crowd and a lot of bystanders, and finally at one point I shouted, like, you know, we in SEM 101 we took a bystander course, so like, why are you guys standing? And then a bunch of more people did join, and we've gone to several houses. I mean, there's more. We don't have all night, you know, but we got to hold everybody accountable. I don't know.
And what is your reaction to none of these fraternity brothers coming out of the multiple frats?
It's literally so sickening and really disheartening, and it just goes to show, like, that they don't even care. I bet you they were filming and laughing. I mean, they all have their own phones. We'll see it next week on the internet, right? Like, it'll probably leak somewhere, so who knows, right?
And how many more do you project to join this? Thank you.
I don't know. We'll see. Sorry.
And
survivors deserve better. That's all I'm going to say.
What is your name?
SU protects rapists. My name is Kywin Gibbons.
Thank you. All right, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You can't rock and run with it.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to run.
Alley? Yeah, alley.
Hang with us here as we are running to get back with the protesters.
We're still heading to DU. We're currently at the back of the group of protesters going down the row right next to ZBT where we were earlier.
We're gonna need to walk on the street
Excuse
for a
us,
second here,
pardon
guys.
us. Thank you so much.
Left, go around now. Okay, stop running.
Let's cut back up here. Let's cut.
No, this way.
Oh. DU is going to be down here just around the corner.
42 minutes of battery on here, so I'm gonna need another one here too. Something that we can add right now is the Chancellor will be speaking tomorrow, or at least he is scheduled to speak tomorrow. There is a Syracuse University Senate meeting. That is a meeting of faculty that usually takes place in Maxwell Auditorium. They have been taking place online since the pandemic began, and at these meetings, the Chancellor usually gives an address, so we should be hearing from Chancellor Severud tomorrow. CitrusTV News will bring you those remarks tomorrow, either online live or after on CitrusTV News live at 6, which you can find on this very Twitter page. So it's worth mentioning now that the crowd of protesters has thinned out considerably since we were last with you at 5.
Yes. Although it seems that more of the students are starting to make their way down, strengthening the group and making it bigger.
Fuck Title 9! Fuck Title 9! Fuck Title 9! Fuck Title 9! Fuck Title 9!
My small dick dog!
Somebody hit me in the car with forever. I don't know.
I don't.
Do you have a swipe to get in?
You're okay.
I will.
Oh, you know what I do?
Yes.
Okay, no, I try this one. This one. Wait.
I'm about to run the fastest 40.
Is it running? thanks for holding us in there as we switch out some things on our end. Again, if you're just joining us right now, this is a group of Syracuse University students, about a few hundred of them that are outside of the fraternity here along Walnut Avenue. They are protesting in general, saying that there is a rape culture that they allege is present in Syracuse University fraternities. This protest has been going on, what time? It is
11:07. It's been going on for just over 2 hours.
Just over 2 hours, exactly. Oh, okay, so we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here. So we're just going to stay here on the side. We're going to move over here where we might be able to get a better view, as I blocked the camera. As the protesters walk up closer to the house. We're just walking up this sidewalk here to give you a better view. Is that Lindsey? So we can get a view now again of the protesters directly in front of the house. You haven't needed me in like 10 minutes. You can go there. Oh, we also need another battery. Yeah, we need a battery for this camera. I'm gonna say I can run if you want to do it. You know what? We need a camera battery and a water bottle. Thank you.
I know, this is such a shadow of another shadow.
Okay, we're just gonna come over to us right now as we do have some reaction coming in from the president of the Syracuse University Student Association, David Bruin. Teagan Brown right now next to us is actually just on the phone with our news director. We do have those tweets that are coming for you momentarily. He tweeted, what's his latest tweet?
His most recent tweet says, 18 minutes ago, our administration is going to work on legislation to address sexual assault on campus and plan to propose it next week. Before that, about 28 minutes ago, he said, we at SU believe survivors. And that is the most recent within this time.
That's right. He said also that protesting to ensure accountability in fraternities and all campus organizations is critical. all RSOs, those are registered student organizations, should be committed to upholding Title IX and not commit these vile acts. That, again, is the statement from the president of the Syracuse University Student Association, David Bruin. As things are quieter now, as we look back toward the we're gonna see if we can listen in right here. So essentially we can just hear some of them are telling stories about what they've heard has happened inside of fraternities and involving fraternity members. Again, we hear that chant of "We believe survivors." We're not sure if you heard it, but one of the organizers, as we understand, has left. It appeared that, I'm just going to confirm with one of our other reporters, am I correct that one of the organizers just left in a car? Is that what just happened? Yes. So that's what just happened there. Chilekasi, Adele, what did you hear from them? We're not sure if those on our stream could hear from your camera.
Okay, so she said that she's very proud of the supporters who came tonight, drove off saying, "Go Orange," something along the lines of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Chilekasi.
Thank you.
As again, what's happening right now is this. So again, this is getting quieter right now as we're gonna just walk down here a bit, so see if they can check and see what's happening. As there is still a substantial crowd, protesters that are here, and we're gonna see who we can chat with live, but things cooling down here at the moment as we see what's going down here as they're walking back down onto the sidewalk.
Hi, Dom. Hi, Dom.
On Marshall Street that doesn't cars. Pick it up from there.
Can you find someone to talk to? Find someone to talk to. Hi guys.
I'm Chancellor.
You're camera.
Okay, well I can't be.
So again, things are cooling down here at the moment. We're going to stick with you live here on this Citrus TV News live stream of what's going on.
Awesome. What's your name again?
Stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8. Stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8. Stop the violence, stop the rape. 2, 4, 6, 8. Stop the violence, stop the rape.
So if you're coming back to us, okay, we're going to walk over here with us for a moment as we're going to be speaking to one of the protesters and hear what. Okay, so the latest message from them is we're going to go back to Ken's house. So we're going to see if we can walk with them as we're walking along.
We would love to interview you as we walk back toward the Chancellor's house. If you're walking along with us.
Don't walk without me.
First of all, can you tell us your name?
My name is Bianca Colon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's walk.
And tell us why are you here today with these protesters?
Well, this is obviously a very serious topic. It's no joke. So this is something that needs a lot of attention, as much as attention as you can get from it.
Why is it important to bring attention to this?
Well, the topic, these people that are obviously doing bad things and the school is not responding, these people are taking the rights away of other people.
Have you heard stories of, obviously it's a personal question, but have you heard stories anecdotally about people that you know who are affected by sexual assault, sexual harassment here on campus and specifically involved with fraternities?
Yes, actually, all the time. I hear it like from people I know, and I just hear it casually brought up in not classrooms, in dorm rooms, and there has been times I'm on the bus where I see people crying because of something that just happened to them.
You know, how does they're crying, but that obviously has to impact you.
Yes.
How does that manifest itself?
Well, just knowing that this is what's happening in the school, that this is like the very school I'm attending, and the chances of this happening is just obviously just like scary to know about.
This year, what do you specifically believe needs to change?
Obviously the administration needs to like actually care. They need to actually do stuff to change the Greek life, especially because that's where most of it is happening. But they have to like monitor Greek life and just kind of just change their protocols and approaches to like what they're about this topic.
So right now we're walking to Chancellor Syverud's house. How much of this do you believe falls on the Chancellor directly to make change, and how much do you believe he can be? How much do you believe he should be held responsible for what happens, or for what happens here?
Well, this is his school. He practically is the one that takes the calls. So if someone is obviously doing something that they shouldn't be doing and people are protesting to remove them or to have them have some type of punishment and there is no response within a reasonable amount of time, then that kind of falls on him because he failed as a chancellor for the students of the school that he supposedly is running.
What's your message directly for Chancellor Syverud?
Man, do you not care about us is the question. Is there something else you can do about your school to help us out?
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us today to our viewers watching live at home?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have anything else.
I thank you so much for speaking with us today. So right now we're here outside of Washington Arms Hall. We stand with you is the call from them as we make our way back toward the Chancellor's house again. Alex. So actually, couldn't be more than 20, 30 yards from the Chancellor's house. But as I look up towards Washington Arms, there's multiple dorms in there. There's a student dorm where they are watching the protests that are moving along here.
One of the students who is walking throughout this crowd is handing out these cards that say, "We believe you," and it seems on the back that there are multiple things to know. This is from Callisto. These have been handed out to students throughout the crowd. I originally saw her handing them out to students at the Chancellor's house, which is where we are heading back to. She seemed to have a large stack of them.
Yeah. Hang with us here as we make it up here. We've been going for about, has to be about
2.5-ish hours.
2.5-ish hours. And what's significant about this is I've been covering SU, the protests that have been happening here it's going on 4 years. I can't recall a specific march around campus that has gone on for this long. Usually they'll start somewhere, they'll go somewhere, then they'll go back. This is an especially long protest as these protesters make it back to the Chancellor's residence, which is a place where we often see protesters.
This crowd is significantly smaller than what we saw just over an hour ago at the Chancellor's house. It seems to be less than 100 students that are here now, when originally earlier we saw hundreds and hundreds of students gathering for these chants. It now seems that one student who we interviewed earlier is leading these chants. We are not seeing the faces that we saw earlier that were distinctly leading these chants originally.
Syverud!
Excuse me. I saw that you were, at the top of many of these fraternities as we've been following you guys throughout this. Would you have a minute to be interviewed?
Oh yeah, sure, of course.
Could you tell us, were you a part of the original group that was here at 9 o'clock at CiTU?
I think so, yeah.
And why did you decide to join?
Because rape is like a really heavy issue for me. It's something that's affected like me and the women in my family and like women all over the world. And it's something that like I'm very passionate like fighting against. And and it's like I wouldn't want that like at my school, like a school that I like love and cherish, like and something so like harmful and negative, like destroying it. And like why would nobody deserves to go through that? And like we've been saying the whole night, like these women deserve peace and justice.
And why specifically are you at the Chancellor's house? What do you all believe that he should be doing?
We believe that he should be like making these boys like held accountable.
And how do you think he should do that? What should specifically?
Well, those boys deserve to go home. Those boys don't deserve to be here.
But you believe that they deserve to be expelled, suspended? Could you be more specific?
They deserve to be expelled. They deserve what's coming for them. They deserve to just not be allowed in these frats, not be allowed to attend the school. Their actions have consequences, and that's what a lot of these little boys don't know. That's what they've never been taught that.
And now this group has significantly dwindled since the beginning. Could you talk a little bit about that build up to the larger hundreds and hundreds of students group to right now when it seems to be less than 100 students right outside of the Chancellor?
Honestly, I think it has to do with the time, honestly. A lot of people do have class tomorrow. A lot of people wanted to come just to see what's up, honestly. A lot of people from the beginning did. I'm not saying they didn't take it seriously, but for some people it was like let me go see what's up. I support it. Let me just go for a little bit. And I think that big build-up was just when we were walking in, everyone just kind of like came across and was like, yeah, I support this. I don't support this. So.
And is there anything else that you want to add that you think people should know?
Educate your sons, I guess. If you have any friends who are like known rapists, don't be friends with them. It's up to us as a society. I don't think it starts with women. It starts with the rapists, because it's never the women's fault. It's always the rapist's fault. So it starts with educating men as a society and ending patriarchy, capitalism, all that. Yeah.
And what is your name?
My name's Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys just heard from one of the students who throughout the night as we arrived at each of the fraternities made their way up to the top of those steps at each of the houses, whether it be CiU, DU, where we just were before the Chancellor's house. Now, as opposed to before when we were here about an hour ago, students do not seem to be going past this gate, even though it is open. Earlier on, about an hour and a half ago, most of the students were inside of the gate chanting, and it seems that as the crowd has died down, so has the chanting. Many students are discussing about going home currently, and many do seem to be walking away. Even in the time that we've been standing here for the last 5 minutes, it seems that it's dwindled.
The one with the green bag, she was one handing out cards. Should I get a quote from her?
Yep. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Teagan. You just handed me this card. Would you mind taking a moment for an interview? All right. So you handed me this card that says, "We believe you." Where do these cards come from, and why are you handing them out?
I'm a campus champion for an organization called Callisto that is free to all students at Syracuse University. 90% of sexual assaults happen from repeat perpetrators, and this program works to combat that. It's unaffiliated with the university. It's a third-party nonprofit, and so it's just an organization that's run by survivors for survivors, and it's there's a matching service that detects the repeat perpetrators. It allows survivors to upload an encrypted and safe and private time-stamped report of their experience, and it also lists a lot of options so that way survivors can navigate kind of their experience on their own terms.
And when did you join this group of students walking throughout campus?
What time is it? I don't know.
It's about 11.
Maybe like an hour and a half ago.
Okay, so you came in kind of the height of the hundreds and hundreds of crowds. What was it like walking into that, hearing all of the chanting and all of the things that these students were saying both to each other and to the fraternities and, of course, the Chancellor's house as they approached them?
It's really nice to see people out here. I think a lot of people have been using Yik Yak to call out fraternities and different perpetrators, and that's obviously an anonymous platform, so having people out here visibly supporting survivors on campus is really important.
And now, you have social media linked on here. How do you think social media has been a tool in this movement, specifically on campus?
I think that social media is nice because survivorship is personal and it's traumatizing, and you can use social media from home. You don't have to be out here in the action to be educating yourself or to be on your healing journey, and I think a lot of people find community in social media.
Great, thank you. And what is your name?
I'm Abigail.
Thank you.
Okay, we're switching to the other camera. Stand still, stand. Tell me when to switch. Okay, bye. We're going to switch over here. Stop the feed. We're on the other camera now.
Okay.
Ready to stop for a second.
Follow this guy.
Girl. I'm like, I don't. The culture I want is not a bird.
I still work.
I thought this was your night out. Oh, wait, no.
No, you just didn't come in. Or was this supposed to be yesterday?
That's okay, I didn't come in yesterday. Oh my God.
And if we have a pen and paper, you can sign it too. I feel like that would not paper. Don't write your names, guys.
We're still here outside of the Chancellor's residence. About 20, I want to say, protesters.
There's less than 20 counted.
Less than 20 protesters remain here, so obviously it's died down significantly. So what they're doing right now is they're asking that if anyone has any signs to leave them on the doorstep of the Chancellor's residence. They want people to sign these signs. They want people to sign the signs that they have out here. As we just pull a little bit closer, I think it's worth at this point to recap what we've seen here tonight. It started about...
Making their way on.
Okay, so we're going to follow them here for just a moment. So this is something that we've seen with protests of the past, where the protesters go up much closer to the Chancellor's house. Again, there is no DPS officers here. There's no one blocking anyone's way here. That is, again, a significant difference that we've seen from prior protests, as we are hearing right now on our other camera from one of the protesters. They're stopping about...
Have you heard any inklings about whether today's going to be the only day, or will this continue?
I don't think so. I think it's going to continue. This is just the beginning. All right, let's leave.
Tell us, guys, what you're about to do here.
We're leaving the sign. Survivors deserve better. Kent needs to believe survivors, and SU needs to do better.
I'll sign it.
I did it. All right.
Fuck Kent.
But Kent, we'll resume tomorrow.
When are you resuming tomorrow?
I'm
What's the plan there?
not sure.
Okay.
But you want this to be an ongoing thing? You're going to continue to push the administration?
Until there's justice and the administration takes accountability, we're not done, and we're going to continue until sexual assault is condemned on this campus and accountability is taken.
Do you have a name that you're describing what you're doing here?
Greek life. Abolish Greek life.
This is about the end of the day. Abolish Greek life, both fraternities and sororities?
It's about holding people accountable and condemning rapists.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you very much. And so that is it, as there is just a protesters clap. So that looks like it's going to be it as we walk back off of the Chancellor's residence here, as we will wrap things up. I want to get some final thoughts as we get off the Chancellor's property as we can real quick here. Teagan, do we have any closing thoughts from you about what we've seen here?
As somebody who joined about an hour into this walk, it was certainly interesting seeing and hearing from you guys how it started out as something smaller, and then when I got here, it was built up to hundreds of students. We also saw no movement within each of the fraternities, which was just the biggest thing that I think will be talked about tomorrow. And I'm sure one of the students said that, of course, this will be on social media tomorrow. We're already seeing it on Twitter right now, so we're just waiting to see what the reactions of both the students involved here tonight are and those who were inside the fraternities.
And I do want to take the moment to tell our viewers about how they can keep up with what's happening here. We are CitrusTV News, the student-run television station here at Syracuse University. We have live newscasts that go out every single day of the semester, 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. CitrusTV News live at 6. We broadcast in Spanish on Sundays at 5 p.m. A morning show Saturday mornings, as well as a political show at 7:30 on 7:30 on Mondays.
CitrusTV Noticias will be on Saturday this week at 6 p.m. instead of Sunday in our usual broadcast schedule.
So the next place, though, to get the most updated information is our Twitter page, CitrusTV News on Twitter, where you are watching this right now. If you follow us there on Twitter, you can be sure that we will bring you the latest here, as well as reaction from Syracuse University. About an hour and a half ago, I reached out to the university's chief spokesperson to see if they have any reaction to what is going on, and I don't want to say that we haven't had anything back from that yet until I switch here, so I'm just checking here. Yeah, as of right now, Syracuse University has not provided a statement to us at this time for their response to what they are seeing here right now. Finally, just again to recap what we saw here tonight, about 9 p.m., a group of Syracuse University students gathered next to the Psi U.
They gathered at Psi U over towards Central Campus.
Over towards Central Campus. And again, that is where they say that there was a student, a member of that fraternity, who raped someone. That is their claim. That is not something that we can confirm, and that is where the protesters went. From there, they have crisscrossed the fraternities that are around the Syracuse University campus, making their voices heard to the fraternity members in these fraternity homes, getting their message across. They want this to end here on the Syracuse University campus. They want fraternities to stop what they say is harboring what they believe are rapists. They believe that there is a rape culture here on the Syracuse University campus among those fraternities. We gave you some numbers before about the overall numbers across campus regarding sexual assault, and we will make sure to keep you all updated with these protests. Just to wrap up again here, Teagan, do you have any other final thoughts that you'd like to get along?
I do not. The only thing that stood out to me at the very end was that one of the students said that we'll see you tomorrow night.
We'll see you tomorrow night, and CitrusTV News will see you tomorrow night, both at 4:58 p.m. for CitrusTV now across the Orange Television Network and here on Twitter, as well as 6 o'clock for CitrusTV News live at 6. For Teagan Brown and each one of our reporters who have helped out in this effort tonight, I want to mention just some of them, as we have a big crew here, as this isn't something we do often. We have Chilekasi, Adele, who's on one of our cameras. I apologize, I don't know everyone's names. We have a lot of new members at the moment.
We have Nardine, we have Dominic, Lindsey.
Adam Sperling is here. Ellie is here. I believe we have most people.
We have Ellie is here.
Riley. Yep. So again, we want to thank everyone for coming out here. Just for our own members with helping out with this. This isn't something that we do often. Just signing off here at the end here for everyone. Thank you again for watching. Have a good evening. Along with Teagan Brown, I'm Ricky Sayer. Good night.